Hello and welcome to another episode of Ask Adam Live. Ask is an acronym for Always Seek Knowledge. Adam is my name and live is our show. If you're not catching this particular episode live, understand we all live busy lives, but there is great relevant information I think you can enjoy and use. So feel free to continue with the show. If you like what you're hearing, click like or subscribe, tell a friend, share. We certainly appreciate sharing this great information with yourself and or others. Feel free to also reach out to askadam.com. There's some access points at our website that you can reach out should you have any questions or concerns, or maybe you'd like to hear more information about a topic. Again, we certainly would love to hear from you. Today's episode happens to be well scheduled to the power of purpose, finding your why. We're just reaching the beginning of the year here where I'm sure many of you have some New Year's resolutions in place. And gosh, we're only a week or two into it. And I'm sure there's some slight struggle with kind of working through it. You're doing what you can and following your steps. However, just not seeing the results. And that's perfectly understandable. But the aspect of this particular show, and I think it'll be helpful for you, is understanding your why. Why are you doing what it is that you're doing? Why did you put this goal in front of you? Why is this resolution important for you? Because obviously it was important for you to think about, important for you to put in place, and important for you to start being proactive and doing things about it. But let's look at the aspect of why. Maybe you haven't thought about it, and that's okay. That's why you're here on the show. So, the purpose of why is certainly going to strengthen your motivation as well as the resilience against some of the distractions that we have. Knowing your why is a little bit like that rocket fuel that is going to help keep you going. And if not keep you going, but also help you achieve your goals maybe a little further and a little faster. And it's going to give you many times that inter push, because obviously there was the initial push that gave you the idea to do what it is you're currently doing. But this is that continuous push that's going to keep the mindset of why you're doing it. And having the understanding of your why is really the foundation of doing anything, right? So, understanding your why. It's going to give you focus and clarity, and it's also going to help fulfill. And obviously, if it's a health thing of wanting to feel better, maybe lose some weight, eat more nutritious food, what have you, obviously that's going to improve your well being. If you're looking to maybe have some more sales in your coming year of business, obviously that's going to change your well being and your mindset. It's going to allow you to have more clarity in how to build your business. That being said, how to discover your why. Again, maybe this is a new concept for you today, and you're thinking, yeah, I just want to do it. I didn't really consider why. Well, let's look at why. First is starting with self reflection. Identify your passion. How many times have you done something that you kind of lost track of time? How many times have you done something that you immensely enjoyed and you almost forgot that it was work, right? And so that is kind of identifying what your passion is, and maybe living that healthy lifestyle is something you're very passionate about and you already are healthy, but you want to be healthier because that's sort of this inter thing, as studies have proven that we have a soul's purpose. This is your soul's purpose. And it may even be to teach others how to be healthy. That being said, that's your passion, that's your why, that helps you to achieve your goals, right? To get to where you want to be. It's part of your motivation, not necessarily for you, but that you can demonstrate to others that things are possible. Again, with business and sales, maybe it's, you want to have more sales this year. Well, terrific. And if that's your passion is that, you get busy selling and lose track of time, great. That's your motivation. and your focus towards your business. And it may be something that you can also share with others because it's your passion. It's what you do. Everyone has a natural gift. Let's figure out what it is, and also help adapt whatever it is that your resolution is towards that natural gift that you have. It's going to help evaluate what your strengths are as well, to understand your skills and your talents. If you're already healthy and athletic and it helps you feel good, so you continue to be that way, but how can you accelerate that by maybe lifting weights, maybe some strength training, stuff like that, sales, maybe to evaluate if your strength is selling a certain product, um, maybe to challenge yourself is to consider adding another avenue. For instance, real estate. Maybe you want to venture into some commercial real estate, to help build upon your strengths if you indeed are a great salesperson. Clarifying your values as well. What's important to you? Community, family. You know, this is what's also going to help shape your why. Is what's important to you. Do you want to have a better community? Maybe doing some local sales instead of international sales. Do you want to help the international market? Maybe doing the opposite. Same thing with your, health and fitness. Is it something you could maybe go to the YMCA and provide a service to the group of, teaching them about better nutrition and just simple exercises, whether it's on a chair, yoga mat, or something like that. Again, if this is your why, then it's your purpose why you're doing something. But understanding your why is what is going to help to maintain doing what it is that you do and just getting really good at it, right? So once you understand your values and you align your values with your passion, and notice that this is also going to start enlightening you to your deeper purpose, right? And like I said earlier, that maybe it spawns to being a teacher. You have that heart of a teacher within you, and this comes to light through the focus of your why. So now you're not only being healthy for yourself and you're helping your family, but now all these skills that you've developed with teaching, you now put together on a platform and you start sharing with others. Like I said, simply at your neighborhood community center, and now you're helping the neighborhood be healthier. And now you want a healthier state. Now you want a healthier country. And then pretty soon internationally, you have food programs that you've developed. Again, just understanding your why. I could take it down several rabbit holes, but nonetheless, we need to understand our why, which is going to help put the clarity and strengthen the values, why we're doing something, and it launches into a complete different thing. And yet we still achieve our goals. Imagine that. You know, Also look at some common threads that go through our life as you see this reoccurring theme. Like I said, maybe you discover you have a heart of a teacher and to help others, and you're advocating for this certain activity. You know, boom, here you discover this right here is your life's mission. How about that? So don't be afraid to put these goals in front of you because it's going to lead to, again, discovering a little bit more of yourself and making yourself a better you. I truly believe that's why it became an idea in the first place for you to consider something like this. Then you enhanced it within yourself to enhance it outside of yourself to then enhance it to others. So put that in place of discovering your why is your core values. And of course, see the commonality of each one of these things that are being put in place. Now, let's, again, as we're discovering our why, one of the next steps that we can do is to reevaluate what our goals are. Because again, now you're evolving and now you're changing. And now this is going to maybe change a little bit of what your goal was, like, right? You wanted to have a healthy lifestyle. Wow, you got there, and as you're getting a healthy lifestyle, you're learning about better ways to eat. And now you're feeling so inspired because you find joy in eating healthier foods. And now you want to share this because it again aligned you with your purpose. So it may adjust what your goal is, what your mindset is today could evolve in the next month or two or in the next quarter. So don't be shy to go back and reevaluate what your current goals are. You know, they're gonna change a little bit. But also you want to prioritize, and as one of my mentors said, keep the main thing. What it is that you ultimately want to do, or I'm sorry, what you want to do first, which was healthy lifestyle. Keep that the main thing. Don't forget about that. That's always important. But it, as you start getting an understanding of other things that you want to do and understanding your life's purpose, you know, you want to put that in line with what it is that you're doing. Kind of keep your priorities in line. Because again, you're going to continuously change this. You know, it's not a one and done thing. Much of what Always Seek Knowledge is about, Ask Adam platform, is that we're constantly learning something. We're constantly adjusting something. We're, change our mindset, change our views, change our world, quite frankly, is kind of the ultimate goal. So as you learn something and you're continuously seeking knowledge and getting that education, you're changing and your goals are going to change. So be okay with that, right? You're going to find that you're going to create that ripple effect, right? Because as we'll keep the common theme of health and lifestyle just as an example. Again, this can apply to many aspects. So just want to keep it kind of basic for this particular episode. But you'll find that as you're evolving and changing and adjusting and improving, that this is going to create a ripple effect of something pretty amazing. You're going to see things happen in your life because your energy is changing as well. And with your mindset and your energy changing, you'll find that relationships will change. You want to educate the masses and you're not sure how. Somebody could all of a sudden be in front of you that helps facilitate that with you or for you, or shares with you some of the advantages to being able to do that and to share what it is you're doing with others. This is then going to spawn into a greater impact that all of a sudden changes a little bit of your purpose driven action, which was to just have a healthy lifestyle. Again, for the example. And then, not to mention the long term fulfillment of what it is that you're doing, then, you know, gives you greater longevity in life because you're eating healthy, you're sharing with others. So now there's others living longer around you, and it is aligning with your core values, right? So that being said, I guess on a personal note, I found myself in a service activity where I did lose track of time. And to say this properly is difficult, but I almost didn't care specifically what I was doing because I knew I was doing it in service of others, right? So, and I knew that what I was doing had a profound effect and that others appreciated it, but that's not why I did it. And I didn't even necessarily do this action for myself. I was just doing it because I know I needed to do something. And I did. And I was basically a service worker, if you will, that showed up at my place of service once or many times a week as needed. And I just enjoyed that I was doing something and that I was serving others and that it was greatly appreciated. And I didn't look for any feedback from it. I didn't look for any advantage from it. I was merely just showing up and doing. And I know that sounds a little maybe negative that I didn't care, but you almost have to not uh, to, at least in my mindset, and help me out with this, but you almost have to not in order to not be constantly looking for results, right? Because as you start this endeavor, you're looking for your personal results. But as you start to evolve and your personal results have given you more of the drive to move forward, and now it's evolved into, as aforementioned, an education aspect of it, don't get too sidetracked that this all of a sudden has to become something amazing, but keep the main thing, which is health, and that you want to share the knowledge of good health because it will evolve into something bigger and greater. Just keep doing the main thing, keep doing what you know is important, sharing that information. This could also be applied to business as well, is that, if you're someone who is knowledgeable in business and you understand your why and you're excelling in business, I'm a strong proponent of paying it forward. Take that knowledge that you have learned and share it with someone. Have a meeting either before or after work hours. Have a luncheon where you get together with other coworkers and help inspire and share with them the skills that you've acquired and the things that you've learned, and allow them to maybe reach their goals. Or even, here's something strange, maybe even to enlighten them that they should have goals. So many of us kind of go in and out through the day, not really knowing what we do or why we do it. And I think that's led to a lot of complacency in today's society, is that we don't have a why. But if each one of us had a why and we kind of focused on our why, I truly believe it would be a much different societal position, because I also believe in our core human nature, our why is always going to be to help people. I don't necessarily think, that it's greed. It may initially show up as greed, but I think the ultimate survivors is the why. I'll give you an example. My friend Tony Robbins, probably heard of him, um, speaks and motivates others to do things. Certainly has motivated me to do things. But nonetheless, his why isn't necessarily speaking and motivating. That's just his gift and what he's good at. His why is to feed people, right? And so his philanthropy of getting meals to people that are going hungry is his why. The daily that he does in helping people is a little bit of an automation. First of all, because he's done it so long, but I mean, it's kind of automated. And I know he enjoys every minute that he does it, but his why is so much bigger. So when he's on stage and he starts to feel tired, he knows that he's feeding families, and that's what helps him stand up straight. That's what keeps him energized and just, yeah, has him endure through the things that he's doing. And it's the same thing I'm sharing with you, is understand your why. If you look at, even Bill Gates, for instance, just to swing the pendulum to a business person, is, his why started to be to help people. It wasn't necessarily building the greatest computer anymore. I think that technology reached a point where it kind of slowed down. But his why was to help protect civilizations. Um, Believe it or not, I think the biggest predator on the planet, to a statistical degree, was the mosquito. Yes, a small little mosquito was wiping out populations of countries, just because of their spread of disease. That was a passion for his, and his why of why he would started to create more and more things, and his business became perpetual, right? Another example, I met the son of the gentleman who started Hobby Lobby. And his why is to give and help in other philanthropic endeavors. His process is providing a reasonable cost goods to the masses in the form of hobbies and gifts and novelties, right? That is his facilitator, but his why is something completely outside of the store. But that's what gets him up every day, is knowing that the decisions on the retail end of his locations is what's going to fulfill his why. So again, you can see the long-term effects, and I think it's important to also note that if you don't have a why, you're probably already putting an expiration date on what it is that you're doing. Again, whether it's a health goal that you have in front or a business goal, honestly, if you don't have your why, yeah, you're going to do it, but I can tell you right now, it has an expiration date, and it'll most likely be over before you know it. And then you'll wonder what happened. And I think it's because you didn't have a why. But having a why in place is what gives you the energy and the purpose not only to start the event, but also to continue the event. Let's also talk about that why. Is that while you're learning and developing your why, because you're going to have an initial why, but your why is also going to grow and expand. It's going to get even bigger with more realization, with more focus, and with more intention as to your why and what you're doing and how you're doing it. It's going to grow exponentially, your why. Therefore, you're going to squash out the idea of having an expiration date. And some of that's going to be as you're moving forward through your goals of your why. And you also want to find yourself on a daily routine to sit down and recognize your why, understand your why. And it could be the same why for a while, but then it's going to change. And you need to be open to that change because you're going to continuously refine and reevaluate some of the goals that you have before yourself because things are going to evolve and change. And you could have the same why for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. But each year in between that, your why is growing and adjusting and processing, if you will, as your endeavors grow and your opportunities grow, and this ripple effect of what you are creating is going to, you know, dare I say, get bigger. And don't be afraid of that. Again, it's not going to get big the first day, and you're not going to see those immediate results the first day. But I want you to be prepared that you start this thing, it's in motion. And I think just like the universe kind of evolves around out in this blackness of the unknown, uh, planets are still revolving around the sun, if you will, whether we get out of bed or not. And that's a pretty big thing. So understanding that once you put something in motion, it's going to be in motion. And you want to know your why. And you want to remember your why. Because as it's growing and evolving and getting bigger, that why is always going to be the foundation by which you do things. And you're going to go back to your why and go back to your why. And again, like I said, you're going to tweak and revise your why, but it's going to be the same core why. It just going to have different colors. Maybe that's the best way to say it, is your why is going to have different colors, but it's still going to be a why, right? Does that make different shades of why? Uh, so don't be afraid, change and adjust, and just know that the colors are going to adjust and change, and the shades are going to be light or dark, but your why is still going to be the same. So as we're at the beginning, if putting this thing in front of you and you think back for a minute and go, yeah, it was an idea, but I don't know why, take a moment to reflect. And if it doesn't come to you in the middle of this episode or as you're hearing this episode, it's okay. Let me encourage you to practice on the daily about 3 to 5 minutes of just sitting in peace and quiet and thinking about what it is you're doing and why. What not not necessarily why the ultimate goal, but why does it stir so much into your soul and the excitement of why you're doing it, right? And so as you ruminate on that, day by day, you're going to start seeing it grow like a plant, your why, and you'll get some premonitions as to why. And then that why turns into a little different why, and then another different why. And again, like I said, it's going to start evolving and changing colors. But as you're daily reflecting on your why, it's going to help strengthen you and give you that resilience to maintain through the process of this goal that you've set before you. So, what we've really done is changed your New Year's resolution into something that's a lifelong changing event. Pretty spectacular, isn't it? So, here's some of the ways that we can take action. Again, the morning reflection, continuous refinement to be aware that it can change a little bit and to be open to that change. We could, I also recommend to, journal and write down some of the successes or some of the things that you would like to put in place. Again, not going to happen tomorrow necessarily, but what we write, we invite. So put those things in place, write down in your journal what it is you want to do, who you want to serve. As you're going through this process, start writing down, hey, I served this person and this is how it made me feel. Hey, I was able to provide someone this service. This is how it made me feel. And by doing that, not only are you inviting even more episodes of this event to occur by what you write, you invite, but it's kind of that documentation process as well that shares with yourself your growth. And it's an exercise in growth so that you not only are seeing the results firsthand, but you're also writing those results down. And that's reinforcing that the results are happening for you and helps you to recognize that there is some reaction to your action, again, that you initially started way back when. So now that we're kind of early into this, a few things we want to look at is what we write, we invite. Let's put down some things. Also, let's pay attention to the patterns that are coming into place, right? And as we see those patterns, right, and as we're meditating a little bit to see and to ask ourselves a little deeper what that why is, don't be afraid to commit some of those small but purposeful changes that are going to help us reinforce our why. So commit with me, if you will, that what we write, we invite. So we're going to journal. We're going to meditate a little bit, continue to hone in on our why. And I would also like to share that once you know your why, don't stop that quiet meditation process. In fact, maybe adjust. And again, like I said, to adjust and refine is that quiet meditative process now becomes that point of being thankful. So sit at peace and be thankful and grateful for the process, thankful and grateful for the results from the process. Be thankful and grateful for opportunities that you haven't seen that could could be in front of you. Meditate, journal, and be open to a little bit of adjustment and make notes of those patterns and things that are continuously repetitive that you're observing. Those are the signs that tell you not only are you on the right path, but they're going to give you some direction on how to refine your goal a little bit, how to adjust it, how to make it bigger. You're going to start to see, as I've found, that's again my experience is what I share with you, is as you're going through those steps, you're going to see other points of action that you can take. And that's what's going to lead to your growth. That's what's going to change the dynamics of this. So again, going back to your why, that's the core. Once you have that, now start asking the questions, what can I do with my why? I hope you found this episode helpful and informative. I hope it allows you to get into something neat, new, and different, to find a true passion in your life that you really enjoy and that you find most exciting, that's going to help change your life. Remember to always seek knowledge, and we look forward to uh, having you participate on the next episode of Ask Adam. If you found this helpful, click like and subscribe. If you know of someone that would appreciate having this information, we certainly encourage you to share with others. And we do appreciate that you have spent a little bit of your time learning more about what you can do with life. Ask Adam and make it a great day.